The night was quiet when the sky above the small town suddenly changed. Dark clouds rolled fast, even though there was no storm forecast. A soft blue light opened in the air, like a wound in the sky. From that light, a silver alien ship moved down without a sound. It did not land in a city. It did not land near soldiers or leaders. It landed behind a small broken house at the edge of the town. Inside the ship, Lyra stood still. She was the chosen bride of the Tsar Empire. Tall, calm, and trained since birth, she was sent to Earth for one reason only: to bond with the most powerful human male. The Empire believed this man would rule Earth one day. Through this bond, Earth would be controlled without war. Lyra trusted the system. The Empire never made mistakes. The ship opened. Instead of a palace or a guarded base, Lyra saw dry grass, old wood, and a fence that was falling apart. The house looked tired, like it had been forgotten by the world. Lyra felt confusion for the first time in her life. "This is not correct," she said quietly. Her wrist device blinked once, then stayed silent. She stepped outside. At that moment, the back door of the house opened. A man walked out, holding a small flashlight. He froze when he saw her. The man was not powerful. He did not wear armor or fine clothes. His shirt was old. His face showed years of pain and hard work. His name was Ethan Cole. Ethan had heard a sound like wind cutting the sky. He thought it was a crash. He never expected this. They stared at each other. Lyra scanned him. Height, average. Strength, low. Authority signals, none. This man could not be the one. "You are not the target," Lyra said in basic Earth language. Her voice was calm, but cold. Ethan swallowed. I don't know what you are," he said slowly. "But you shouldn't be here." Before Lyra could answer, a small figure appeared behind Ethan, a little girl. She held a worn blanket close to her chest. Her hair was messy, her eyes wide, but not afraid. She looked at Lyra with deep focus, like she was seeing something she had been waiting for. The girl stepped forward. Ethan turned. "Lily, go back inside." But Lily did not move. She looked up at Lyra and whispered very softly, "God finally sent you to us." The words hit Lyra harder than any weapon. Her heart rate changed. Her breath slowed in a strange way. This was not part of the mission. Lyra knelt down slowly, trying to understand the child. "Why would you say that?" she asked. Lily smiled, a small, tired smile. "Because good things come late. Mom said that." Ethan's hands shook. "I'm sorry," he said. "She talks like that sometimes." Lyra stood up. She looked at the house again. No guards, no signs of power. Just a man and a child trying to survive. Her wrist device suddenly blinked. Red. Error. Target mismatch. Retrieval in progress. Lyra felt cold inside. The Empire knew. High above Earth. A second ship changed its course. Larger. Stronger. Faster. Lyra looked at Ethan. "You are in danger," she said. Ethan gave a short laugh, full of pain. "That's been my whole life." The ground shook slightly. A distant sound rolled across the sky. Lily grabbed Ethan's hand tightly. Lyra realized something then. The Empire had sent her to the wrong man, but the child had not. And for the first time in her life, Lyra wondered if the Empire was wrong. And if this broken human was more important than any leader they had chosen. The morning sun struggled through the broken curtains of Ethan's house. The air smelled of old wood and dust. Outside, birds chirped softly, unaware of the silver ship that had landed behind the house the night before. Lyra stayed quiet in the corner of the living room, her alien eyes scanning every detail. Ethan sat at the small kitchen table, trying to make sense of everything. Lily sat beside him, hugging her blanket tightly. "I need answers," Lyra said finally. Her voice was calm, yet it carried a weight of command. Ethan shook his head. "I don't know who you are, or what that ship wants. But you're here now, and I can't let anyone hurt you or her, he said, pointing to Lily. Lyra tilted her head. For the first time, she saw a human not as a target or tool, but as someone who could protect. She finally spoke about herself. My name is Lyra. I was sent by the Tsar Empire to bond with a human leader. You are not the one. Ethan frowned. Bond? Leader? Unjust. Me. A broken man. I work small jobs. I take care of Lily. Lily peeked up at Lyra with wide eyes. She's brave, Lily whispered. Braver than anyone I know. Lyra looked at the child. There was something in Lily's gaze, trust, hope, and a strange certainty. Lyra's alien instincts told her that the child could be the key to understanding humans. As the day passed, Lyra learned more. Ethan had been a soldier long ago, but the government had abandoned him. He had adopted Lily after her parents had died in a war far from here. They survived together, quietly, with no recognition from the world. Lyra observed Ethan carefully. Every small gesture, how he fed Lily, how he fixed the broken stove, how he laughed at Lily's clumsy jokes, told her that this man carried a strength no scanner could detect. Then, a soft hum filled the room. Lyra froze. Her wrist device blinked red. Alert, retrieval imminent. The Empire knew she had arrived at the wrong location. Agents were on their way to correct the mistake. Lyra looked at Ethan. He noticed her change. What is it? He asked. They will come for you. And for me, she said quietly. Ethan's eyes narrowed. Then we prepare. They will not take Lily. Lyra felt a strange warmth. This human, weak and simple in appearance, was willing to risk everything for a child. Her training never accounted for this. The Empire had taught her about rulers, power, and obedience, but never about love, sacrifice, or hope. Lily climbed onto Lyra's lap suddenly, hugging her tightly. You're staying, right? She whispered. Lyra froze. She had never felt such a connection before. I don't know, she admitted. The first knock on the door came that night, soft, almost polite. Lyra's alien senses picked it up before Ethan could. She whispered, They are here. Ethan grabbed a small wrench from the table. Lily hid behind him. Lyra's eyes narrowed. This wasn't her mission anymore. This was something different. Something she didn't understand fully, but already felt deeply. And in that moment, for the first time, she realized that the wrong delivery might not be a mistake at all. The little girl's words echoed in her mind. God finally sent you to us. Lyra had no idea what it meant yet, but she knew one thing. She could never ignore it. The sound outside grew louder. The night had just begun. The night grew colder, and the wind whispered through the broken fences around Ethan's house. Outside, the stars glimmered faintly, but above them, alien lights cut through the sky. Lyra stood near the window, her eyes scanning the horizon. She could sense the approach of something large. Something dangerous. The agents of the Tsar Empire were coming for her, and, unknowingly, for Ethan. Ethan sat in the dim light of the kitchen, wiping his hands on an old rag. He looked tired but alert. Lily lay on the floor, clutching her blanket, her small face tight with worry. You're stronger than you think, Lyra said quietly, speaking more to herself than to Ethan. But the Empire does not measure strength the way I do. They will see nothing here. Ethan's voice was soft. I've been told I'm weak all my life. By leaders, by governments, even by people I trusted. Maybe they are right. Lyra turned to him. For the first time, she noticed the depth of his eyes, not just tiredness, but wisdom, patience, and a quiet resilience. Every movement of his, every word he spoke, showed a man shaped by loss but unbroken. You are not weak, she said firmly. They judge only by numbers, by power, by position. You are something they will never understand. Ethan's fingers brushed Lily's hair. I survived wars, Lyra, but I didn't survive alone. I survived because I had someone to care for. Someone small, like her. He looked at Lily, who now peeked at Lyra with hopeful eyes. Lyra knelt to meet the child's gaze. "You trust him," she said softly. Lily nodded. "He saved me when no one else could. He's my family." The soft words of the child seemed to ignite something inside Lyra. The mission, the empire, the orders, they all seemed smaller, less certain. Perhaps the wrong delivery wasn't a mistake at all. Then, a shadow moved across the field outside. Lyra stiffened. "They are close," she whispered. Her senses, honed for decades, detected the alien presence before any human eyes could. Ethan stood, placing himself between Lily and the door. "Let them come," he said, his voice calm but firm. "No one hurts her." No one. The first agent appeared, stepping into the dim light. Their armor glimmered faintly, and their eyes scanned the area, cold and calculating. Lyra's wrist device blinked. "Target incorrect. Retrieval initiated." The agent spoke, voice flat, mechanical. "This human male is not chosen. Release the child and prepare the bride for return." Ethan's hand tightened around the wrench. "I don't think so," he said. "This is my home. This is my daughter. You don't get to decide." Lily ran to Ethan and clung to him, her small body trembling. "Please," she whispered to Lyra, "don't let them take him." Lyra hesitated. Her training told her to obey. Her mission told her to return. But the child's eyes, so pure, so trusting, pulled her heart in a direction she could not ignore. Ethan took a step forward, his body small but unwavering. "You may be stronger than me. You may have weapons, rules, and orders. But I have something you will never understand. I have loyalty. I have love. And that is enough." The agent paused, scanning him. Their devices could measure strength, speed, and combat skill, but not the quiet courage of a man who had survived loss and still protected those weaker than him. Lyra felt a strange warmth. The child's words repeated in her mind. "God finally sent you to us." For the first time, she realized the truth. The Empire had chosen wrong. But perhaps the universe, in its own mysterious way, had chosen right. The agent stepped back. Lyra looked at Ethan, at Lily, and felt a connection she had never known before. The night was heavy with danger, but for the first time, Lyra understood something far greater than obedience or duty. Humans were more than measurements. They were unpredictable. They were brave. And sometimes they were exactly what the universe needed. Outside, the wind carried the faint hum of the approaching fleet. Inside, the little home held the quiet, unshakable force of a man, a child, and an alien who had just begun to understand what it meant to truly choose. Dawn broke over the small town, spilling pale light across the cracked fences and dry grass. Outside, the hum of alien ships filled the air. Lyra watched silently from the roof of the house, her eyes scanning the sky. She had faced enemies before, warriors from the far reaches of the galaxy. But this time, she was unsure. The Tsar agents had underestimated Ethan Cole. He looked ordinary, tired, weak, and unarmed. But Lyra had begun to see something no device could measure. There was a fire in him that no training or armor could match. Ethan tightened his grip on the wrench in his hands. Lily clung to his leg, eyes wide with fear and trust. "Stay behind me," he whispered. "No one will hurt you." Lyra stepped forward. "Ethan, you cannot fight them alone." He turned, face calm, voice steady. "I don't need to be strong like you. I just need to protect the ones I care about." The first agent landed outside, their armor glinting under the morning sun. They moved with precision, scanning for threats. Lyra could feel their judgment, weak, human male, unworthy, expendable. But then Ethan did something unexpected. He ran forward not to attack, but to block the path of the agent. He dodged a scanning beam and grabbed a fallen metal rod. With no training, no special skill, he moved with determination. Every step, every decision was instinctive. Every action was for Lily. Lyra watched, stunned. Her sensors could detect the difference between strength and true courage. This human had it in abundance. The agents paused. Their scanners failed to understand. How could someone so weak appear so unstoppable? Ethan pushed forward again, protecting Lily behind him. Lyra stepped in to help, but she realized she did not need to. The human instinct, the unmeasurable force of loyalty and love was enough. Lily clutched Lyra's hand tightly. "He's amazing," she whispered. "I told you he would save us." The words echoed in Lyra's mind. The Empire had sent her to a weak human, a man they called unworthy. But here he stood, proving that strength was not measured by numbers, or by weapons, or by rank. Strength was measured by what one was willing to give, what one was willing to protect. The agents regrouped and fired their restraint beams. But Ethan dove, rolled, and shielded Lily. His arms shook. His breath came fast, but he did not give up. Lyra realized that no alien protocol could ever account for this. This is human strength, she murmured. Not the kind they taught me to respect, but the kind that matters. The leader of the agents finally stepped forward, scanning Ethan with their device. The screen blinked red. Unexpected variable detected. Ethan looked up, eyes meeting Lyra's. "I may be weak," he said, voice steady, "but I'm not alone. And I will not fail." Lyra felt a surge of something foreign: pride, awe, and a strange warmth. She had been trained to obey, to follow orders, to respect power. But now she saw power in its purest form: human courage, human love, human loyalty. The agents paused, uncertain. The human male they had dismissed as weak was more dangerous than any weapon. And for the first time, Lyra wondered. Maybe the Empire had measured wrong. Maybe strength was not about ruling, but about protecting. Above them, the sky shimmered with incoming ships, but inside the little house, a new force had emerged. One that no scanner could detect. One that was unmeasurable, unstoppable, and utterly human. Lily whispered, clutching Ethan tightly, "I knew you could do it." Ethan smiled faintly. "We'll see how far we can go." Lyra looked at them both and knew this was just the beginning. The sky above the little town was dark now, filled with the shadows of alien ships. The air vibrated with energy, humming like a warning. Lyra's heart beat faster. The Empire had decided. Ethan would face the trial, a test designed to break him, to prove he was unworthy of the bond the Empire had planned for him. Ethan stood in the middle of the field behind the house. His hands were empty, but his stance was firm. Lily clung to his leg, trembling. "Daddy, be careful," she whispered. Lyra stepped closer. "Ethan, this is not like anything you've faced before. The trial will show your fears, your weaknesses. It will try to break you." Ethan looked up at the alien sky, calm. "I've faced loss before," he said softly. "I've faced death. This is just another test." The first wave of the trial began. The ground shook and the field twisted around him. Shadows became monsters, each one representing his deepest fears: failure, loss, pain. His vision blurred, showing Lily being taken away, the house burning, the world collapsing around him. Ethan staggered, but he did not fall. He ran toward the illusions, protecting Lily's figure first, shielding her from the shadows. His arms moved instinctively, though the monsters were not real. Each movement was a promise. He would never give up. Lyra watched from the edge of the field. Her alien mind calculated the odds, but she could not measure what she was seeing. Ethan's choices were unpredictable. Each decision was made with care, courage, and sacrifice. The trial shifted again. Now it showed him himself failing. His hands empty, unable to save Lily. His chest burned, but he did not scream. Instead, he clenched his teeth and kept moving. He refused to let fear win. The agent's scanners blinked wildly. Variable, unmeasurable, human resolve off the charts. Lily's small voice called out, echoing in the illusions. "Please don't give up. You can do it." Ethan heard her even through the chaos. Her words were real, more real than the shadows around him. He dove, he shielded, he ran, and every time he fell, he rose again. Lyra felt something shift inside her. The Empire had trained her to expect obedience, strategy, calculation. But Ethan's strength was something else entirely. It was unpredictable. It was human. Hours seemed to pass, though it could have been minutes. The shadows finally receded. The trial ended. Ethan stood, bruised and exhausted, but unbroken. Lily ran to him and hugged his legs tightly. "You did it," she whispered. "You never gave up." Ethan looked down at her, smiling faintly despite the fatigue. "I never will," he said. "Not for you. Not for anyone I care about." Lyra stepped forward, her expression unreadable. I see now," she said softly. "Strength is not measured in victories or weapons, but in courage, in sacrifice, in love. You have more than any leader I was sent to find." Ethan nodded, barely catching his breath. "Then maybe I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be." Far above them, the Empire's agents recorded everything. Their reports would say that the human male was unworthy. But Lyra knew the truth. The test had failed to break him. Instead, it had revealed what the Empire could never measure: the unstoppable, unmeasurable strength of the human heart. And for the first time, Lyra felt that perhaps she had not been sent to the wrong man after all. The little girl whispered again, holding Lyra's hand. "I told you. God sent you to us." And this time Lyra believed her. The sky above the town burned with alien lights. Ships hovered like silent predators, casting long shadows across the fields. Lyra stood at Ethan's side, watching as the Empire's fleet prepared to make their judgment. This was the moment that would decide everything: Ethan's fate, Lyra's mission, and the future of this small human world. Ethan, bruised but unbroken, stood tall. Lily clung to his leg, her small hands trembling but her eyes fierce. "They won't take us," Ethan said quietly, his voice steady despite the danger. Lyra looked at him. She had trained her whole life to follow orders, to obey the Empire without question. But she had learned something humans could teach even an alien warrior: courage. Loyalty and love were more powerful than any weapon. The lead agent of the Empire appeared, stepping forward in armor that gleamed under the alien lights. Their voice was cold, final. "This human male is unworthy. He fails the tests. The bride will return to the Empire. The child will be left behind." Ethan's hands clenched into fists. "I don't care what your rules say. I will not leave her behind. I will not let you harm her or this world." Lyra stepped between them. "Enough," she said. Her voice carried authority the agents had not expected. "I am the bride. I was sent to the wrong man, but he is the one who matters. The Empire's judgment is wrong. I choose to stay." The agents paused, scanning her with instruments, trying to measure her choice. But the Empire had never accounted for human influence on an alien mind. Lyra's decision could not be calculated, could not be measured, could not be predicted. One agent spoke, almost reluctantly. "This is not possible. The bride must obey." Lyra shook her head. "I obey no one but my conscience now. This human male, he is worthy. His courage, his loyalty, his love, these are the things you cannot measure. And they are stronger than anything you call power." Ethan looked at Lyra, disbelief and awe in his eyes. "You chose me?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, and together we protect what matters." The agents hesitated, their fleet above.